Good evening, everyone. It is currently Monday, April 6, 2026 as the time of this recording. You'll have to excuse me if I'm a little rusty at this. It's been about 6 years since I've made any type of upload here on this channel, but I figured this was a big enough event that I needed to do some sort of coverage of it. I just got back from Orlando, Florida, where I went and saw the Artemis 2 launch. I had two great friends, Jeff and Susan, over there who invited me out to come stay with them and see the launch, and I absolutely took them up on that offer. But this is kind of an off-the-cuff video. There's not really any rhyme or reason to it. The clips you're going to see are just clips that I took around the Kennedy Space Center the day of the launch for the first half, and then the second half of the video will be the actual launch itself. From our viewpoint, we were watching it from the Atlantis North Lot inside the Space Center, which is right next to the Atlantis exhibit. But yeah, I just wanted to come on before the video started and tell Jeff and Susan thank you for hosting me, and to remind all of y'all, if you haven't, to subscribe and go follow me on my socials. I'm on X as well as Instagram at Captain Aviation. So hope you enjoy the video, and thank you for watching.
We meet in an hour of change and challenge, in a decade of hope and fear, in an age of both knowledge and ignorance. The greater our knowledge increases, the greater our ignorance unfolds. No man can fully grasp how far and how fast we have come. But condense, if you will, the 50,000 years of man's recorded history in a time span of but a half a century. Stated in these terms, we know very little about the first 40 years, except at the end of them, advanced man had learned to use the skins of animals to cover them. Then about 10 years ago, under this standard, man emerged from his caves to construct other kinds of shelter. Only 5 years ago, man learned to write and use a cart with wheels. Christianity began less than 2 years ago. The printing press came this year. And then less than 2 months ago, during this whole 50-year span of human history, the steam engine provided a new source of power. Newton explored the meaning of gravity. Last month, electric lights and telephones and automobiles and airplanes became available. Only last week did we develop penicillin and television and nuclear power. This is a breathtaking pace, and such a pace cannot help but create new ills as it dispels old. So it is not surprising that some would have us stay where we are a little longer, to rest, to wait. If this capsule history of our progress teaches us anything, it is that man in his quest for knowledge and progress is determined and cannot be deterred. We shall send to the moon, 240,000 miles away, a giant rocket more than 300 feet tall on an untried mission to an unknown celestial body, and then return it safely to Earth. But why, some say, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why 35 years ago, fly the Atlantic? We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone. And therefore, as we set sail, we ask God's blessing on the most hazardous and dangerous and greatest adventure on which man has ever embarked.
10, 9, 8, 7, farthest 25 inches, lit. 4, 3, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff. The crew of Artemis 2 now bound for the moon. Humanity's next great voyage begins.
Good roll pitch.
Roger, roll pitch.
Houston now controlling the flight of integrity on the Artemis 2 mission.
Integrity, AMT high.
On time passing 30 seconds into the box. Integrity passes the ultimate eco target milestone. Mission Control Houston seeing good performance and working engines. Space Launch System core stage. Integrity 3 miles in altitude. Traveling more than 1,200 miles per hour. Last time, passing 1 minute, approaching max Q.
On, Ponce de Leon.
Stan, we have you loud and clear on Ponce de Leon.
Have you the same?
Communication signal transport confirmed as Integrity and its crew go supersonic. Approaching 90 seconds into the Artemis 2 mission. Integrity is 14 miles in altitude, 8 miles downrange, traveling more than 2,600 miles per hour.
Yeah, you'll see it.
1 minute 50 seconds of mission elapsed time, standing by for main engine throttle down to 85%, ahead of solid rocket booster separation expected at the 2 minute 9-second mark. We see throttle down. Confirm separation. Main engines throttling up, guidance converged.
Integrity, guidance converged, performance nominal, upper stage RCS ready.